So today I'm talking about how a single mom can afford a vacation even if she doesn't have a lot of money or she's on a tight budget. Have you ever felt like because you're a single mom and everything is on you that you cannot afford to take your child or children on vacation, and it's kind of a luxury at this point in your eyes? You see other people going on vacation because they have a family and you feel like a vacation is so unattainable for you by yourself, let alone with your kids, or to be able to take your children on a vacation once a year, whatever you desire for you and your children. Well, I'm here to let you know that it is attainable, that it can be done. So if you came here to hear that, then let's go ahead and get into it. Hey y'all, hey, it's Khameleon K, and today I'm talking about how single moms can afford vacations too. I'm gonna first talk about Corey. What?
I was just here to ask.
Take your whole backpack upstairs.
Okay, give me like 3 seconds.
I'm going to give you tips on both traveling domestically versus internationally and how you can fit it in your budget for either one. But first I'm going to start with domestic. If you're traveling domestically, you can look for airlines that are allowing children to fly for free with an adult if the child is under 12 years old. They do have those. Sometimes they have stipulations where they do want you to join their club or something along those lines, but you do the math. If it's a cancel anytime, it depends on what their requirements are, but you can look into that and then see if that's worth it for you. Especially if you want to travel frequently and after this video you do feel like it's within the budget, that may be an option for you. Next, you can make it a road trip. So if it's 2 or 3 hours away, that's easy, right? But if you feel like it's more beneficial for you to use gas or pay for gas than to get on an airplane to where you're trying to go, then make it a road trip and you can make it fun. If there are cities that you have to pass through that have things for kids or places that you've always wanted to go, then do that. Also, you can it's a way to knock out 2 birds in 1 stone, 3 birds in 1 stone. It depends on how many cities you have to go through to get to your final destination. And if you're driving by yourself, even if you decide to stay the night in a city and enjoy that city, that's fun too. That's fun. That your kids will enjoy that too. Just make the best of what you have and what you can do. Or you can even link up with a friend or another single mom and you guys get together and take turns driving. So there are different ways. Just you got to make it work. Just get creative. That's just another way that you can get to the destination without having to pay for a plane ticket and still have an experience and even stop at other places on the way.
Did you call me or Kate?
I said Kaden, tell him stop yelling.
Kate, stop yelling. Mom said so.
Next, if you do decide to fly, look for flight deals. Sometimes as soon as they drop, that'll be the cheaper route for you depending on when you're leaving. Sometimes it's last minute deals because they're just trying to fill up the flight. Sometimes you can even go to your local airport and get a good deal. Actually going to the airport sometimes will give you a better result than doing it online or even calling at times. So you can try that or whatever you can do to fit it into your budget that works for you. Oh my god, I'm about to really go off. You can also sometimes get better deals by actually going to the counter, calling them. Also, when traveling domestically, once you get to your destination, sometimes there are even deals on Groupon for the entertainment there where you can get a cheaper deal. I do advise that you look in advance though, because sometimes you can only use it within a certain window or you have to wait outside of a certain amount of time to use it. So look at those things in advance. Don't get there and try to use it just to find out that you can't use it that day. So just an idea to get another deal when you're on a tight budget. Next, really quick, shameless plug, I do own a travel agency and we do get exclusive deals that aren't always available to the public. We also offer payment plans and package deals where if you were to buy the plane ticket and say the hotel or the resort separately, it would be more versus getting it as a package. And we do offer those, and sometimes we even have like codes and things like that that give you a discounted rate. But the real value honestly in using a travel professional is that we do all the work for you, we do all the research, We also have connections to specialists in specific areas. So even if I'm not a specialist in, say, Europe, right? I have specialists who actually live there. I have specialists who specialize only in that, in the back end, that travel professionals only have these connections to. So I can't tell you how many times that people have booked things on their own, and then I see them on social media crying because they didn't understand something, or something didn't turn out the way they thought it would. But using a professional would have prevented that. So don't be hurt, that's all I'm saying. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and get into how to travel internationally with kids and get deals, or get it at a cheaper or more attainable price. There are resorts, especially in the Caribbean, that allow kids to stay free. They allow kids half off, sometimes even a second adult free. It just depends on what is going on at the time, what their deal is at the time. Sometimes it's just resort credits and you do have to pay the full price, but it's still, even if it's a package deal with a flight included, sometimes that is your discount. But there are so many deals always going on. It just depends on where you're trying to go, what your budget is, what your requirements are, and your expectations as a traveler. Next, cruises. Cruises have kids free and half off as well. I feel like too, this is also a good way to visit multiple islands or multiple places in one vacation, and you guys get to experience multiple islands at once instead of paying for a flight to specific places and being there for a certain amount of time. I mean, although I will say a cruise is like, maybe you stay a day or two and you get to enjoy what you can enjoy within that time, or sometimes it's even a couple of hours. Whereas if you choose to go somewhere and fly somewhere and stay there for a week in one location, then you get to experience it a little more. But if you're more about like getting just, to get more of the experience within a certain amount of time and still visit multiple islands or multiple places, then a cruise may be your best choice. And another thing, there are so many cruise lines, but depending on the cruise line, they have activities on the cruises. Sometimes they have places where you can drop the kids off while you guys have adult time. Sometimes they have babysitters that actually come to the room so that you can go enjoy yourself. They also have kids specific activities. They have adult specific activities. They have shows. They have comedy shows. They have all types of things. Some of them even have helicopter rides on the cruise. So it's just so many different cruise lines that offer so many different things, and you can get it all for that one price. So say for example you're using an airline that gives you one free check bag. If your child isn't a lap child and they're giving you one free check bag per person, try to pack minimally so that all your stuff fits in your one free pack bag, and make sure that you stay under the weight limit for whatever the requirement is on that airline. That also goes for the child's pack bag. If they have a ticket and they get a free check bag, most airlines do also give you a free carry-on in addition to that. So if you have a laptop, if you need to do work, or you want to go ahead and kill some time on the plane, just try to make sure that everything can fit in your carry-on. Make sure that you look at the rules as far as the ounces and things, or whatever you decide to bring with you actually on the plane. You do not want to have your stuff being thrown away, because it does happen. I've seen it, I see it, and it's sometimes even embarrassing, and you don't want that. So make sure before you take something with you on the plane that it is allowed, number one, and number two, when you are packing your bag, stay under the limit if you don't expect to pay an unexpected luggage fee. Also, depending on the age of the child, it may be wise to get them a luggage or something that they can ride on, or where if it's an infant, they even have like harnesses that you can kind of have them on so that you don't have to physically carry the child. And if you don't know what I mean, I'll go ahead and put up pictures. And I'm going to put links below so that you can go ahead and look into those things and see if they fit what you need to travel. They can ride on them, they can get harnessed on them, but go ahead and take a look and decide if they're for you. But you do want to be able to move quickly and efficiently, especially if you have layovers and things like that. So it's just faster, to have a child ride if they're too little to walk fast in the event that you have to hurry up and things like that. There are also package deals that are exclusive to your departure city. So you wouldn't know that. I've never had anyone be able to see these. Again, that would be something that I could help you with. My email will be below so that I can find you these deals or help you with your vacations if you're having a hard time figuring them out on your own. So don't hesitate to reach out. If you have multiple airports around you and some of the departure cities are cheaper to fly out of, if you're flexible in where you depart from, you can also find deals that way. Sometimes it could be $200 less or even more at times to depart from a local airport that isn't the one that you typically go to or the closest one. So sometimes it's worth it to drive an extra hour or whatever the case may be in your city. Next, you can be proactive and create a budget. If you know that you want to travel every year and say your budget is $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever it is for you, and you want to start now to start traveling next year every year, then go ahead and put it in a budget and stick to it. I do have a video coming up where I will be talking about budgeting for single moms, and if you don't want to miss that video, then go ahead and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you are notified when I put that video up. Another way that you can pay for a vacation is if you get a tax refund. I know not everybody does, but if you are one of the ones who get a tax refund, put a certain amount away or a lot part of it to specifically take a vacation with your kids, or even a partial amount to put toward a vacation for you and your kids. Also, if you're one of those parents who pretty much get everything that your kids want for holidays and things like that, and your family just kind of, you know, get them whatever for Christmas extra, maybe you can even turn it into a vacation fund that they can donate to for holidays because you already get them everything that they want. So that would actually help you out and they can just donate to the vacation fund. Alright y'all, love y'all.
Met you when you were 19. I'll stay with you till 90. There's no way to stop now. Let's go for another ride.